Welcome to Kampala, the capital and largest city of Uganda. The city proper has a population of 3,846,000 and is divided into the 5 political divisions of Kampala Central Division, Kawempe Division, Makindye Division, Nakawa Division, and Rubaga Division. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. Kampala's metropolitan area consists of the city proper and the neighboring Wakiso District, Mukono District, Mpigi District, Bikwi District, and Luwiro District. It has a rapidly growing population that is estimated at 6,709,900 people in 2019 by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics in an area of 8,451.9 square kilometers, 3,263.3 square miles. In 2015, this metropolitan area generated an estimated nominal GDP of $13.80221 billion, constant US dollars of 2011, which was more than half of Uganda's GDP for that year, indicating the importance of Kampala to Uganda's economy. Kampala is reported to be among the fastest-growing cities in Africa, with an annual population growth rate of 4.03% by city mayors. Mercer, a New York-based consulting firm, has regularly ranked Kampala as East Africa's best city to live in, ahead of Nairobi and Kigali. Kampala originally referred to only the present-day Old Kampala Hill, on whose summit Fort Lugard was located, and the initial headquarters of the British colonial authorities in the soon-to-be Uganda Protectorate. Before the British construction of Fort Lugard, the hill was a hunting reserve of the Kabaka, king of Buganda, and had several species of antelope, especially the impala. As a result, when the British colonial officials were allocated this hill by the then Kabaka of Buganda, they referred to it as the Hill of the Impala. The Baganda, in whose territory this British settlement was located, then translated Hill of the Impala as Akasozi Kuempala. This was then shortened to Kempala and finally Kampala. Kasozi means hill, ku, of, and Empala the plural of Impala. Hence the name Kampala came to refer to this initial British colonial settlement that would later on spread out from the occupied Old Kampala Hill near the pre-existing Kibuga, capital of the Buganda Kingdom. This area of numerous hills and swamps that later become known as Kampala was part of the core of the highly centralized Buganda Kingdom. It was also the site of the shifting Kibuga, capital, of the different Bassa Kabaka, kings, of the Buganda Kingdom, with each Kabaka, king, upon coronation, or subsequently during their reign, setting up their Kibuga, capital, on a new and/or different hill as they wished or desired. The first written description of this Kibuga, capital, was by the explorer Sir Richard Burton in his book, The Lake Region of East Africa, published in 1860. In the book, Burton, relying on the information collected by Snaib bin Amir, an Arab trader, described the Kibuga as, "The settlement is not less than a day's journey in length, the buildings are of cane and rattan. The Sultan's, Kabaka, palace is at least a mile long and the circular huts neatly arranged in a line are surrounded by a strong fence which has only 4 gates." In 1862, when explorer John Speke arrived in Buganda, the Kibuga, capital, was at Bandaborogo, present-day Banda Hill, and the reigning Kabaka, king, was Mutesa I. In 1875, explorer Henry Morton Stanley reported the capital as being at present-day Lubaga Hill, where he met the same Kabaka, Mutesa I. During this visit, Stanley wrote a letter that was published in the Daily Telegraphy, inviting missionaries to come to Buganda. He also described the Kibuga in his 1870s dispatches to the New York Herald, thus: "As we approached the capital, the highway from Uzavara, Busabala, increased in width from 20 feet, 6 meters, to 150 feet, 45 meters. Arrived at the capital, I found the vast collection of huts crowning the eminence were the royal quarters, around which ran several palisades and circular courts, between which and the city was a circular road, ranging from 100 feet, 30 meters, to 200 feet, 60 meters, in width with gardens and huts." Bennett, N.R. Stanley's Dispatches to the New York Herald, 1871 to 1872, 1874 to 1877, Boston, 1970. In 1877, the first missionaries from the Church Mission Society, who were of the Protestant faith, arrived from the United Kingdom and were allocated Namirem Hill. 2 years later, in 1879, the Catholic White Fathers also arrived, first settling at the present-day village of Kitebi near Lubaga. Subsequently, they would be allocated Lubaga Hill. The arrival of these 2 missionary groups laid the ground for the religious wars of 1888 to 1892 between their new converts and forced the missionaries from Great Britain to then lobby for the British government to take over Buganda/Uganda as a protectorate. In 1890, Frederick Lugard, an agent of the Imperial British East Africa Company, arrived in Buganda during the reign of Kabaka Mwanga II, with whom he signed a treaty of protection by the British government over Buganda, and the Kabuga, capital, was located at Mengo Hill. Captain Lugard would, later on, be allocated the Kampala hill that would soon be known as Old Kampala, and on which he built a fort. In 1895, Mengo Senior School, the first school offering Western education in Kampala, was opened by the Church Missionary Society at Namirembe Hill, where mostly the children of chiefs and pages of the royal palaces were students. In 1897, Mwanga launched a rebellion but was defeated and was subsequently captured and exiled, in 1899, to the Seychelles alongside Omukama Kabalega, and his 3-year-old son was made Kabaka by the combined forces of the European officers leading Nubian and Baganda colonial soldiers. This state of affairs later culminated in the signing of the Buganda Agreement, 1900, that formalized British colonial rule in Buganda. Also in 1897, Kampala's first Western-style health facility, Mengo Hospital, was opened on Namirembe Hill by British doctor and missionary Sir Albert Ruskin Cook. In addition, Sir Albert Ruskin Cook would in 1913 found Malego Hospital, the current National Referral Hospital, at Malego Hill. In 1899, the Missionary Sisters of Our Lady of Africa founded Lubaga Hospital on Lubaga Hill. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. In 1900, the regents of the infant Kabaka Daudi Cwa2, who were Apollo Kagwa, the Kadikiro, Prime Minister of Buganda, Stanislas Mugwanya, the Mulamuzi, Chief Judge of Buganda, and Zakaria Kisinjiri, the Muwanika, Chief Treasurer of Buganda, with Bishop Alfred Tucker, signed the Buganda Agreement on behalf of Buganda with Sir Harry Johnston, who signed on behalf of the British government. This agreement with Sir Harry Johnston created new land tenures such as freehold, crown land, and Malo, and divided up and allocated the land in such a way that would come to define the development of Kampala. The land in Buganda's Kabuga, capital, including Mengo Hill and Makerere Hill, was allocated to the young Kabaka, the Baganda colonial collaborators, etc., under Malo and freehold. The religious missions were also formally allocated land they were previously occupying. Thus, the Catholic White Fathers got Lubaga Hill, the Protestant Church Missionary Society got Namirembe Hill, the Muslims under Prince Nuhum Bogo's leadership received Kibili Hill, the British Catholic Mill Hill missionaries received most of Nsambia Hill. The Uganda Protectorate government obtained land classified as crown lands in the area such as Old Kampala Hill, Nakasero Hill, etc. To legalize the above changes, the following laws and ordinances were subsequently passed: the Crown Lands Ordinance of 1903, the Land Law of 1908, the Registration of Land Titles Ordinance of 1922, and the Busalu and Invujo Law.